Hello, we're looking at number 2 in the series on preparation for the end time, and this one is entitled Daniel and the End Time, and we refer particularly to Daniel chapter 2 and chapter 3. Behind me is an image of Pharaoh, as you see, not quite the image of Babylon, but it's the closest I could get. And Daniel 2 is of course very familiar to us as a faith community, because that is something that we often speak about in terms of prophecy and its fulfillment. The fact that Daniel 2 was that prophecy, that dream that was given to the king of Babylon that then Daniel interpreted, and it led through all the various kingdoms. But the most important thing, of course, of Daniel 2 is the great stone that is cut out without human hands, which destroys everything, the end of it all, but the beginning, filling the whole world with the kingdom of God, of course. And then in chapter 3 of Daniel, Nebuchadnezzar kind of wants to reinterpret that dream and say, well, I don't like the idea of being only the head of gold. I want to be the full statue. Don't care about the silver and the brass and the iron and the iron mixed with clay. I want to be that full golden statue. An interesting way of saying, I don't accept this perspective. I want to be an eternal kingdom, like the kingdom of God, and yet fallible human beings. And we're told that we should go back and look at Daniel chapters 2 and 3, of course, but also the very end, because Daniel asks in chapter 12 verse 8, what will the outcome of all this be? And that really is the most important question. Where is it all heading? What are we going to do? What will be? And the end, of course, is the second coming of Jesus. That is the most important thing. It's not doom and disaster. It's the return of somebody we know and love. And I want that to be our focus throughout these studies of the end time. Sometimes we can turn it into something that is really doom-laden, catastrophic, and so on. I'm not saying there won't be amazing things happening, but we want to focus on the fact that the final movements will be rapid ones, and then we see Jesus coming in the clouds of heaven. Adam White comments, read the book of Daniel. Call up, point by point, the history of the kingdoms there represented. Behold statesmen, councils, powerful armies, and see how God wrought to abase pride and lay human glory in the dust. God alone is represented as great, and that surely is the main theme, that God is great. Daniel 2, Daniel 3, the whole of Daniel, all the various beasts, all the images there are saying that God is in control, that He's the one who takes care of all of this, and that He will see us through to the end. If we can trust the prophecies of Daniel that point to Jesus and all the rest, we can trust the God who's behind all those prophecies, who leads us on to His eternal kingdom. May we all be there.